How are you?
Welcome back to Trending Nigeria. I'm Adenuga Progress. Today, Tuesday, November 4th, 2025, all eyes are once again on the Federal High Court in Abuja, where the detained leader of the Indigenous People of Biafra, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, will appear before Justice Omotosho for the continuation of his trial. This is a crucial day in Kanu's long-running legal battle with the Nigerian government, a day that could determine whether the case continues or collapses entirely. Now, let's remind you of what led to today's proceedings. Just days ago, Kanu filed the fresh motion dated October 30, 2025, asking the court to strike out all the charges against him and order his immediate release. In that motion, titled Motion on Notice and Written Address in Support, Kanu argued that there is no valid or cognizable charge against him under Nigerian law. He said the charges were based on repealed and non-existent laws, such as the Old Customs and Exercise Management Act (SIMA) and the Terrorism Prevention Amendment Act of 2013, both of which have been replaced by newer legislation. Kanu insists that because these laws have been repealed, the government's case has no legal foundation. He cited the 1999 Constitution, the Evidence Act 2011, and the Terrorism Prevention and Prohibition Act 2022, saying the charges offend the constitutional principle that no one can be tried for an offense not defined by law. He also drew the court's attention to the Supreme Court's ruling in FRN versus Kanu, which directed lower courts to take judicial notice of repealed laws. In his words, any trial based on such laws is nullity, initio, meaning invalid from the very beginning. What makes today's hearing even more dramatic in Kanu's recent courtroom twist. Last week, he told Justice Omotosho that he was ready to defend himself and even mentioned that he had witnesses to call. But when the judge gave him the green light to begin his defense, Kanu suddenly made a U-turn, declaring that he had no case to answer because the entire charge in his view is illegal and unconstitutional. So, what should we expect today? Here's what's likely to happen in court. Hearing of Kanu's fresh motion, the court will take up his application asking that all charges be struck out. Arguments from both sides. Kanu, who is representing himself, will argue that there is no valid charge under Nigerian law, while the federal government's legal team will push back, insisting the trial must go on. Focus on jurisdiction and legality. The judge, Justice Omotosho, is expected to rule on whether the charges are grounded in any existing Nigerian statute. Possible ruling or adjournment. If both sides argue fully today, Justice Omotosho may either deliver a short ruling or fix a new date for judgment on the motion. As usual, tight security is expected around the Federal High Court in Abuja. Supporters of IPOB and human rights activists may gather outside, though authorities are likely to restrict public access to the courtroom. Across Nigeria and the diaspora, many are watching closely to see if this motion could finally bring an end to Kanu's prolonged detention, or if the legal battle will continue. So, the big question today is simple. Will Justice Omotosho agree with Nnamdi Kanu that no charge exists against him under Nigerian law? Or will the court rule that the federal government's case will stand? We'll bring you the full details once the proceedings conclude later today. Make sure you like, share, and subscribe so you don't miss the post-hearing updates right here on the channel. I'm Adenuga Progress, and this is your update on the Nnamdi Kanu trial, live from Abuja. Thank you.